might this work, and will there be a benefit to consumers?
Well, as part of a broader EU agreement, the EU recently agreed to target those electricity generators who don't use gas. So they have seen a massive increase in their margins and their profit margin over the last year, because they're getting their electricity from renewables, which are obviously much cheaper than gas, but they're passing on the retail cost at the general gas price to consumers. So this is an effort to claw some of that back to help the government deal with some of the costs of the energy crisis. And there's various measures which we know about, the electricity credit and so on. But there's also a significant business energy support scheme. And it was suggested around the time of the budget that any revenues gathered from this would help to finance that scheme. Now, estimates as to how much money the government will be able to claw back range from the low hundreds of millions well into the billions, but the government doesn't know, and it won't know until next year, exactly what sort of money will be coming into the coffers, but they certainly intend on putting it towards those supports. This is what the Taoiseach said when he arrived for Cabinet earlier today.
I think it will be significant, and I think the Minister, Eamon Ryan, will be bringing proposals to the table in that respect. And obviously that funding will go back into government, but obviously to be used in the overall sense by government in the time, next year, to try and continue to alleviate the pressures of the current energy crisis on the country that's been brought about by the war in Ukraine, and which is impacting all of Europe, and the weaponisation of energy by Putin.
So any sort of extra revenue will be welcomed by the government, because the economic picture is very uncertain. The OECD this morning updating its forecasts for Ireland and the rest of the world, and it believes the domestic economy here in Ireland will slow next year. It will be cushioned to some extent by our multinational sector, our exporting sector, but tougher times are definitely ahead.